get from your tire while driving, or the stuff that can cause the tire to give you the problem while you're driving. Okay, so there's lots of combination of problem that you can have to deform your tire. So basically, when you have a problem with your tire, your car is running one side on the right side or running on the left side, it means that your car is not in alignment. Okay, that means you need to get your car aligned. First of all, before you do alignment, you have to check there's nothing loose, because when something is loose, like a ball joint, tie rod, that can cause your tire for not going to be worn equally, and it's going to be uneven. It's going to eat on one side. Okay, so that can cause beginning of your problem. Okay, you can have a bad shock, because when the shock is no good, you're going to have a tire like this, which I'm going to be explaining to you soon. Okay, now let's say, for example, your car, everything is perfect on your car, but your car is pulling on the one side. You went to the alignment shop, they do the alignment, the car is pulling. You gotta check your tire, the other tire look even. But most time in that case, you need to switch your tire. Take the left tire, put it on the right side, the right tire on the left side. And that should even out the alignment of the car. Because sometimes when we do alignment, we have to do that because your tire already been deformed by the way you had it before you didn't do alignment. So now we're trying to correct the problem by switching left tire, the right side, and 99% is work. Okay, so symptom of a bad tire, you can have a lot of symptoms. You can have your steering shakes, that you know you have a bad tire in the front. Okay, and next symptom, your tire is warped. One side is higher, one is low. So that could cause by bad shocks, and what you're gonna have when you're driving, you're gonna feel your whole car is vibrating. Okay, and the faster you drive is the faster you have in a vibration, and your car is gonna pull either left or right in that situation. Because most people, the most time you need to do alignment is if you change a rack and pinion. Sometimes you get away with it when you do a tie rod, you try to put it back in the same place, but some manufacturer maybe it's not as accurate, so you might lose a two thread or something, so it's not going to be accurate. But what happened, it's going to be off 1 or 2 centimeters, and that alone, driving over a couple of months or so, could deform your tire. And when your tire deform, it's really bad, because you see, this is a tire with a shock that was no good, and you can see how deformed this tire is. It's eating in the center, eating in the middle, and you have some part there's nothing, some part there's some. I can tell right away that the shock on this car was no good. And not only the shock, you have like some ball joint or something is loose. The table, the bushing, something is loose, so it's eating on one side. So I'm going to show you now what happened. You see, when you have, let me take the good tire. Okay, this tire here, you can see it's been eaten equally. Okay, it's been eaten equally, so I can tell that this car that this came from has a good steering alignment, very good. And when a car is lined properly, the tire is gonna wear evenly, and you will have the lifespan of your tire. You will have until it's finished, because it's when, yeah. And sometimes cause the problem too. You have like this one here. This one what I see. Sometimes you have overinflation and underinflation. What I mean by that, sometimes you put too much air in your tire. Okay. And it's gonna eat on the outside. You put too much less air, eat in the inside, in the center. So that's why it's very important that you put the right pressure in your tire. because it will help. That's the next something else that causes your tires to deform, and you don't have the lifespan of the tire. Okay, and people who live in cold country, it's very important that you check your tire in the winter, because it's about 10 pound difference when I checked it. Because if you change your tire early before the winter, you need to recheck it when the temperature really get stable, when its temperature really get cold, because what happened, you're gonna be losing some pressure in your tire, and you wouldn't even know it because the air is condensed, you know. And 17 years ago when I started, and there was one customer, he come and say, you want some winter air? So all the mechanics was laughing, this guy is crazy, we need winter air. They didn't teach you that in school. So I asked him, what is winter air? He said, no, the air pressure changes in winter, because the air is more damp, so it's heavier, so it doesn't expand as much as when the air is dry, like a summertime. The air expand more. So in winter time you have to put more air in your tire, and summertime you put less, because the air expands. So that is the secret about that. So now in the winter, when the place get really cold, in the fall it's hot, cold, hot, cold. So but when it's really cold, you go back, check your tire at the gas station or at the garage, and you're gonna see there's about 10 pound difference, okay, in the pressure, tire pressure. Sorry about that. So symptom of vibration, okay. So that's one problem too. Next vibration problem is your tire. You have to make sure that your rim is not bent. Sometimes you hit your rim on something, on the sidewalk, your rim is bent too. That can cause the vibration. And uneven tire. So to have a good car, to run straight, even tire wear, is to have a good alignment. So you don't have to be fighting with your car steering, okay? Because sometimes you drive some cars, you have to fight with the steering. If the car is going left, you want it to go straight. And in a week, couple of weeks, the new tire that you put on is gonna be garbage, because it's gonna be deformed. And what that can cost too, that can cost you have to change. You will have to spend money now on bearings, because what you're doing, you put in more work on your bearing. Because your car is going like this, and then you put it in straight, and then now all the thing there is the bearing have to compensate for that. So now the bearing is getting a lot of pressure. So what you're doing, your bearing is not running straight, your bearing is running and getting a lot of pressure. With the weight of the car, in a couple of months you have to replace your bearing too. So in automobile, you have to remember that one thing affects the other one. Alright? If you don't have a good alignment, you're gonna end up with a bad tire. You don't have a good tire, you're gonna end up having a bad bearing, because they all connect to each other. You don't have a good shock, you don't have a bad tire, although you have a good alignment. So like I said, drive safely, and if you want to save some money, make sure that your alignment is good. And there's a lot of stuff, if that is something wrong with your outer tie rod, inner tie rod, your ball joint, upper ball joint, your bushing, they will have to fix that before they do alignment. Okay? Because that means that these things are what causing your problems. Alright? So subscribe to my channel. Like.